Hey, what's up? My name's Bob. Now I'm going to show you how to do a Whirlpool wash machine. Whirlpool makes Kenmore, KitchenAid, Roper, Estate, so you could do, they're pretty much all the same thing. This is actually a direct drive unit. It has no belt. It has a coupler on it. I'm going to show you how to do a pump, motor, and coupler on this today. And I'll show you how to do a lid switch. What you do first is it's going to take a Phillips screw. So pretty much, I'm just going to use my little drill gun to do it. There's two screws on the back. Pretty much take those up the highest they'll go. Pretty much take it, lean up with your hand. I normally use a Phillips screwdriver to take these clips off. So what you do is you stick your Phillips in there, lift up on the clip, lift up on the clip, same thing with this, lift up on the switch, pull it apart, you're done. As far as pulling the cabinet apart, all you have to do is lift forward, lift up with your knee, pull it out. On this particular lid switch right here, it takes a 5/16 for the ground wire. I believe the lid has to be lifted up on this. So that's it. That's your lid switch right there. Stick it back in, clip the clip back down, shut the lid. A technician will charge you around 180 to 200 bucks to do this. That's how easy it is to do it yourself. So there's the lid switch part. How I like to do these, the easiest way is to flip it up forward, flip it back, pull forward where it's like that so you don't hurt your back in the process of doing what you're doing. As far as the legs, to loosen them up, they're a 9/16. You're going to start off by, I always use a Phillips for everything. For the pump, held on with two clips. That's the clips. Pump comes off like that. If you want to change the pump, it's these two clamps right here. When I put a pump back on it, well actually I'll show you in a second how I put pumps back. These right here are 1/4 inch.
Is that my scooter?
That's my helper, excuse me.
Oh.
Take these off. Throw them in your tool bag. You don't even need to put those back. This won't come apart. On the clip, lift up with your finger, pull it loose, drop it down. Take your screwdriver, pull this up with your hand, clip that, turn it, pull it down, that's out. That's it, right there. Now the motor's going to drop down. Take this off, you don't need it for anything. This is the coupler drive right here. Can you pause? Now that the motor and pump and everything's off, this doesn't need a coupler, but I'm going to show you how to do it anyways. I also spray the motor out with an air hose. This is the coupler drive right here. What you do to put this on is sit it in there the way it goes. Take a 1/2 inch nut driver, hit it back on there. Take this one, the rubber grommet, stick it in the middle where the top is actually facing up. When I do a motor, nobody else, I've only seen one other person do this. I always oil the motor. Right here in the top, put a couple drops in there. I usually use Zoom oil, but I don't have any Zoom oil. Same thing with the bottom. And when I do that, I also do the pump. The only thing keeping this from leaking inside here is an O-ring. And I squirt a little bit of oil in there, and I squirt a little bit in the center. Because if the moisture gets in here, this will rust onto this shaft right here, and then you'll have to beat it off and it'll be worth nothing anymore. We'll have to put a new motor on it. Oh, same thing with putting this back on. 1/2-inch nut driver. Boom. As far as these clips, you could take the bottom clip, put it in, put the clip in, turn it sideways, drop it down. So you take the motor, make sure this is straight with the rubber grommet in the center, slip it in the bottom first, wiggle it around, and it'll drop right in. Before I put that one in, I take this one, put it in, turn it in sideways, click it into spot, click it into spot, hook the harness back up, make sure it's turned to a side angle like that. And then what I do to make this straight is I take the clip and I turn this on the inside to put the pump back on. Put the pump on the center, hit it with your hand, clip that one, clip this one. And as far as the legs, I'm always an in-shop tech and I fix things in the shop. And I always oil the legs for a courtesy to the guys that actually go out, install these pieces and put them in. So when they get out, this isn't rusted up and you have to take a pair of vice grips to it. If you do the job the right way, you don't have to do it again. Same thing, oil the leg, screw it out, get oil on it, get it back in, back up. These particular little thingies here have to be straight up the way they are. If they're by any chance bent down like that, what you do is you take your flathead screwdriver, turn in, it brings it back straight. This is what keeps the cabinet in place. And the hardest part about this machine is putting the cabinet back on.
Okay, did one fan
And pretty much how I do that, the front part of this lip has to fit underneath this. How I do it is I take my knee, I put it in the center. I open the lid, make sure the lip is under, drop it down. Push this forward, drop it back. Take it with my foot like that, that one's in place already. So I'm going to clip it down. Also, when you're putting this in, if this hose, this is the water fill hose, if this is kinked in between the cabinet, it'll just keep filling with water and overflow. So you always have to make sure this is not kinked in between the cabinet. Kick it in with your foot, drop it down, push that in, and then kick the front again. That's in. I take the clip, put it in, drop it down. And of course I did one thing wrong. Take this clip down because I left the lid switch wire in. Clip it back down, take your lid switch wire, clip it back on, drop it, grab your Phillips, put them back in. That's done. Normally when I take these apart in the shop, I get a garden hose and I spray out the whole cabinet, the inside of this. They look spotless when I'm done with them. You know, if the shop would have came out and did all three things that I just did, it would have cost you over 400 bucks. I've been doing this for 26 years. It's basically common sense. It's easy to do yourself. You can save yourself a lot of money doing it. Same thing with dryers. I particularly like Kenmore and Whirlpool. They're made by the same company, and that's the brand I like to specialize in, just because I like that brand. Pretty much that's it.